Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to another gathering at the Legion of Doom. I am your baldy millionaire psychopath, SD2 Production. With me always is my terrible twosome, my beautiful but fair Curry-san Curry, my horrible yet interesting TinyBatMan.
I horrible.
I had a better introduction that I was gonna make, but I thought it was too mean, and I'm gonna say it now just because you brought this fucking up. I was gonna go, and of course, the man whose jokes are not as funny as his face, TinyBatMan.
Oh
man, dude!
Shots fired.
Yep. That's why I'm wearing cloud.
I'm hurt. I'm leaving the podcast. Mine? See you later. Bye.
I don't know what I had for you, Curry. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. I had this Legion of Doom theme idea, whatever.
This awesome guy with an awesome voice
and a delusional mind.
Right?
Well, at least he's honest. What?
All right.
But yes, welcome to the second episode of Let's Talk, the podcast that won't stop. Your one-stop shop for video game and pop culture news. And today we have a huge list of stuff to go through. This thing is huge. This thing is too massive for me to even
contemplate in your orifices.
Yep, all my orifices are just complimented. All my.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Okay, so we're off to a pretty interesting start. But yeah, first thing I want to get this out of the way. We still don't have a set schedule in mind for this podcast. We're still kind of working on whether or not it'll be Monday or Tuesday. But I'd like to say that I will announce the release the night before. So I will have my Twitter in the description for you to follow. And that is where I will be posting the announcements beforehand. For anybody who's interested in knowing beforehand. And in case you were wondering why we are not talking about PAX East 2015, we are recording this on Sunday, basically the last day of PAX East, and announcements are still being made at the moment, so we are going to be giving PAX East its own little video of itself. Because this week has been nothing but announcements and countless other things that have been coming into play, and our list is ridiculously huge, and we have so many things that we're probably going to be talking a lot about. So again, we're giving it its own little spot, so don't worry, that will be happening.
Yep. All in due time.
Yep.
All in due time.
Okay, so let's start with our week though. Curry, how has your week been?
My week has been very hectic and stupid because I had tests and stuff, and I think you're about the same way, huh?
Yeah. The only difference is that I've just been scaring myself shitless playing Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's about it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, sir.
So much FNAF 3.
TinyBatMan, how's your day? How's your week?
Well, week pretty decent. Yesterday, ow. Too much dancing and stuff, cause I go to those raves, you know. But but yeah, all in all, pretty good week for me. It was pretty fun.
I can say mine's good.
I haven't played FNAF 3, but I've watched a lot of gameplay of it, so I've had my fair share of scares.
The rooms are just filled with feces.
Oh god.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get into that later. Right now, we're gonna start with TV, movie, and anime news, and we're gonna start off with Sharknado. Sharknado 3 is happening, guys, and it's going to be set in fucking DC.
DC.
Of course.
So
in DC.
So basically, Sharknado has been was announced a long time ago, and it's been in development. And a lot of people have had concepts about what it's going to be like. I liked Sharknado. I think it's obviously one of those so bad it's good movies.
Like a cult classic, but without the classic.
Yeah, and in the second one, it was set in New York, and they had cameo after cameo of countless celebrities and people that are in New York showing up. The entire movie itself is just a huge circle jerk for New York. If you watch it, that's basically it. It's not about the stupid plot about the son and the brother and everything that's happened. No, it's about New York City being really cool. And I feel like this is going to happen with the third one. And if that does happen, Obama cameo.
Yes.
I was about to say, Mr. President.
Yes.
Like all over the place.
I want
my fellow Americans.
I want
Sharknado is taking over.
He's not. There's already somebody who's going to be playing the president, and that is in the link below. Talks about one of the cast members. But if Obama was in it as just a citizen on the street, and then a shark came towards him, and then all of a sudden he busts out a samurai sword and cuts the shark in half, and then it just zooms in on his eyes, and he says Sharknado in Japanese, I think I'd be very satisfied.
Just the fangirl of the century.
Well.
I would be like, oh, Obama-sama, and just praise him all day.
Oh my gosh. That would be very interesting. There needs to be someone in that crew with our mindset.
Yeah, somebody has to be like, how do we get the president involved? Do we send him Sharknado theme gifts?
They should just start a Kickstarter or like
or just
a
have
petition that gets enough signatures that the president has to be like, okay, this is what the people want.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not even.
They know I do.
No, you know what? I think he would do it because there was a video that was made by BuzzFeed that says that where he was in it, and it was like everyday things people do, and he's in it, and it's a whole sketch thing, and I was like, well then, that's possible. If that's possible, I think that a Sharknado cameo, a small one, is definitely possible. If it's happening in DC, it's definitely possible.
Yes, very.
Okay.
Just a small cameo.
Yeah, if it's just him and Michelle going Sharknadoes, and then that's it, I'll be okay.
There we go.
All right, moving on. Let's go into some trailer news. Let's go. Let's talk about this Avengers, guys. Avengers 2, third trailer.
Juicy.
What did you think, Curry?
I thought it looked amazing, and this villain here is just, it's sleek looking, and it's just, I want to see it. I'm kind of blown away, really. Yeah.
Just
that's it. I'm like, I just had a spasm, and it erased like 400 words from my vocabulary.
I understand. I felt the same way when I watched the Jurassic World trailer. Mm-hmm. Like I was blown away to the point where I was speechless, and I remember I was watching it with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend asked me if I was okay, and I was like, I don't think I can go on anymore. Because I think we've reached the point where I think I can die. Because I think all the movies that I want are happening, and I just don't want to be here anymore.
I know we're not talking about, but the only thing that I thought of while watching the Jurassic World trailer was Raptor Jesus.
Oh my god, yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought about how amazing everything is. I can't believe Chris Pratt is the fucking Raptor Whisperer.
Yeah, Chris Pratt can basically do anything.
He pretty much can, and whatever he does apparently becomes gold. But TinyBatMan, what did you think of the new Avengers trailer?
I honestly I thought it was really good, and it shows a lot of promise for the new movie. But I'm kind of like, you know, I really want to see it when it comes out, not in the trailer kind of guy. So I hope that the trailer didn't reveal too much about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Like, the one thing that the first trailer did well is that it created mystery, like, and it revealed the villain, which, well, of course, if the movie's called Age of Ultron, it's gonna be Shrek. Like, with like the new trailer, just a lot of the action sequences are laid out for everyone, and it's like, well, spoilers. So
yeah.
but that's
totally
just my
didn't see the
personal
first
opinion.
trailer.
So
So this is like, all this is completely new to me, and I really enjoyed the first film, and this just really opened my eyes here. Like, I don't know too much about like the comic and everything like that, so this is just
Strictly, you are influenced more by the cinematic universe, so you're more of the you're probably more you're probably one of the people that they are probably looking to the most to push this.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because
they aren't looking to fill out like the shoes of the comic lovers, obviously, since a lot of stuff has changed from the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but as a movie as itself, it looks amazing.
It looks a lot more interesting than the first Avengers movie. It looks like there's a lot more happening.
A lot more going on.
And you're right. You're totally right that I felt like this trailer did reveal a bit too much. I mean, it's a good trailer, but I mean, right off the bat, I can tell that there are like 3 subplots happening at once. I can already tell Ultron's ultimate like plan of attack. I can see various moments that will be very heartfelt that are being expressed through the trailer, and it's like, well, I really would have loved to see that organically through watching the film. Like, now I know that's going to happen, so I'm sort of now looking to see that. Like, I'd rather be surprised than know about it.
Just be like, oh, I saw this in the trailer. Like, this is cool.
Yeah. You always get this feeling when you watch the movie. You get this tingle saying, "Oh, I saw this in the trailer." It's just snap. Yeah.
I don't think Marvel did the thing where they show all the good parts in the trailer, like a lot of movies do nowadays. Like for comedies, they just show the 3 funny jokes in the movie, and then the rest is
just complete
garbage.
Yeah. I don't think it revealed too much. I think that. But I'm always sort of the person who I'm always sort of thinking like, just reveal one trailer, just release one, and then tell them the release date, and that's it. That's all you gotta do.
Unfortunately, you know that's not gonna happen.
No,
because people are like, "Give me more, please."
Yeah, but this looks really good, and I can't wait to see it.
Definitely.
This is Avengers 2 is going to be the end of the second phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then the third phase starts with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that one too.
Real quick, I'm not really sure. I don't really know about the phases of the Marvel
Cinematic
movies.
Universe.
Yeah. What is it?
So the first phase started a long time ago with the Incredible Hulk, but it because that was the first movie created by the Marvel Studio. And then the first phase was made up of Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America 1, and then the first Avengers movie. And then the second phase is Iron Man 3, Captain America 2.
Like all the in-between stuff?
Yeah, all the in-between stuff. And then Thor 2, and that's about it. And now this is the end. Avengers 2 is the end of the second phase. And then the third phase is starting, I think, this year, actually, right? Yeah, like Ant-Man starts it off, and then it ends with Avengers 3 with Thanos.
What is the significance of each?
Oh, the phases are nothing. The phases are just like a continuation of time, I think. It's just like a timetable.
Is it like a season?
Yeah, actually, that's a perfectly. It's in seasons. Like the Avengers Cinematic Universe is like. Actually, when you think about it, it is sort of like a show. Like each movie is sort of an episode of this long-running series.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know.
Yeah, Marvel is really on top of their cinematic universe, and they really know exactly what they want to do with the entirety of their movie series. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they did, and now Spider-Man's here, and he's kind of fucking shit up. But hey, you know, I think things are gonna work out.
I really hope they actually do well with Spider-Man now, and not just
because you gotta because I love Spider-Man. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but they pushed back the Black Panther movie and the Miss Marvel movie. You need to make sure that you need to make sure, Marvel, that you're willing to back that up, because those are two superheroes that are well needed at the moment. You know, the Black Panther, first African American superhero with his own film. Okay, his own first African American superhero with his own good superhero movie film. And Miss Marvel, you know, first, if you want to, because everybody's chanting about when's the next Wonder Woman movie. I want to see Miss Marvel, because I think Miss Marvel actually has bigger balls. That being said, I you know, Marvel, again, you got to justify your reasons for pushing these movies back for Spidey. You know, if you have a game plan and you're working that shit out, I understand that, but these are two movies that you know, everybody was waiting for. But yeah, besides that, let's move on, guys. All right, to one of the biggest things in Curry's life to ever happen, a Dragon Ball Z movie. So drag a dragon, pump the dragon, Dragon Ball Z. Curry, what the hell am I talking about?
We are going to talk about the new Dragon Ball Z movie, Fukatsu no F.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know I saw this trailer a long time ago, and it looks okay.
It's stuck with me, but only in waves. Like, to be completely honest with you, when I first heard the announcement of a Dragon Ball Z movie with Frieza, I thought they were doing I thought they were just redoing the entire Frieza saga and adapting it to film. Like, they were just taking that part of that saga and putting it to film and shortening it for an audience. Kind of like what they did with kind of how One Piece does with some of its seasons. You know, when they're so short that you can make them into a movie, you might as well do that.
And they've even done that with the Path to Power. They did the whole Dragon Ball Season 1 and condensed it into a movie.
Yeah, so I honestly thought that this was going to be taking that, the Frieza saga, and doing that. But this is its own original story, and this is just Frieza's back.
Yep.
And he apparently has an army of Saiyans.
It's just scary.
Which is it Saiyans or no?
I think they're just
his soldiers.
I think they're just soldiers. Yeah.
So his forces are back.
His forces are back. They look really powerful.
Yeah, they look, and Vegeta seems to have turned, or something like that. If I remember from the trailer, Vegeta is actually stepping on Goku. I wonder. I know that this has absolutely no place in the canon story. Obviously, this is just a movie. But I wonder what their placement of this is. Like, is this before everything? Is this way into the future? And if that is
I think this is right after after the movie that just came out, the Beerus movie. Because he does appear in the trailer.
Beerus?
Yeah.
Yeah, Beerus, yeah. And
so,
the thing is...
Frieza seems to be going into some sort of god form, because he kind of turns golden blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very cooler-like to me.
Yeah, I was also thinking that too, because if it was earlier in the timeline, what they talk about Cooler, would Cooler come up would Frieza be like, "Have you met my brother?" And Goku's like, "The one I killed?" Yeah, I remember that guy. He was a pretty cool guy. And then,
this is the funny thing. In an interview with Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, he actually said that these movies are actually canon to the anime, which is very weird because this is between Kid Buu and the World Martial Arts tournament that happens when Goku takes Oob to train. And that's very weird for these events to happen in that time period.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years, yeah.
That is strange because it's like all these various moments. Like the last Dragon Ball Z movie, the one we were talking about, the Battle of the Gods, so much was pretty much kind of introduced, and in a lot of ways, like the fact that Gohan is having a kid. That was something that I did not expect.
That's what the thing was, right? That movie literally
was just about that.
Beerus wasn't necessarily a villain.
No, he was just a new character.
A guy that everyone was scared of because he's freaking powerful.
Yeah. And,
it was more of an introduction to the new characters and how they're still doing, if anything.
Yeah, it was sort of like a glimpse into how Dragon Ball Z is now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we left them alone a long time ago with GT, and now we're back, and we're showing you exactly where the characters are in these universes.
And
right.
And the only time Vegeta wasn't a total pussy was when Beerus slapped Bulma.
Yeah, that was
he punched Beerus in the face a bunch of times, and then kind of got his ass handed to him. That was insane.
But I found Vegeta's personality a bit strange in this movie. Honestly.
Yeah, I felt the same way about a lot of the characters actually. Like Goku was very playful, and I thought that was it's very much Goku, but at the same time I was like, well, I don't think Goku would just hang back while all of his friends get the shit beat out of them. Like, I remember that line at the end, and I was like, really? You were there the entire time, and you didn't do anything. Even when Bulma got slapped, you were just like, whatever.
That stupid little dance on stage.
Yeah, wow.
Oh my gosh, no, that ruined ruined Vegeta for me.
No, you know what ruined Vegeta? When his brother showed up in the last...
Oh my god.
God damn it.
I'm like, why?
You know what else ruined Dragon Ball for me?
What's up?
Xenoverse.
You didn't like Xenoverse?
I didn't like Xenoverse. I don't like Trunks. I don't like Trunks with short hair and a shitty jacket and telling me to go on, and then me being a fucking time cop. I didn't like any of that.
Well, I know, like, with Xenoverse, I never actually played the game, but I watched gameplay of it, and I heard a comment. It's just like, you get to create your own character. This is basically DeviantArt the game.
Yeah, basically, that's basically what it is. It's just like it's Xenoverse plays such a weird role. Like I think it's interesting, but at the same time, I feel like the story is not. Like, the idea is pretty cool. Like, hey, what if in the future Saiyans come back? What if Saiyans are now all over the place?
I've heard the story is not so good, but the fact that you can create your own character is awesome.
Yeah, I got to create my own.
The character creation is very good, actually.
All the artwork
much
is well
better
put together.
than Ultimate Tenkaichi.
Oh,
that was crap. That was
Jesus.
What was that?
Yeah. Spent hours trying to make a Goku clone. I couldn't even do that. I was so surprised by it. I was like, why can't I make Goku in this Dragon Ball Z game in this character creator? There's something wrong here. When you can't make the main character, you're a little disappointed.
Well, I mean,
Just
if you
a
could
little.
make the main character, everyone would make the main character, and then it'd be like 1,500 Gokus running around.
You know, that would be something, wouldn't it?
That'd be so, I'm sure in the somebody has just made various those characters. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be
I've seen Gohan being made multiple times, but his hairstyle is I don't get it. Like, why is adult Gohan's hairstyle recycled so much? Like, Tarble, which is Vegeta's brother, has that same hairstyle.
I don't know. I think that overall all of their hair is getting shorter. Like Vegeta's fucking hair got definitely shorter. I mean, compared to what he looked like in the original anime.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, this new Dragon Ball Z movie does look fun. I can't wait because I like Dragon Ball. I like Dragon Ball coming back in any way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe for a fact that this has any place in the fucking canon universe. I will not take Mr.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it was the creator himself who said it. I honestly don't see any of these movies actually taking place.
Because it's so out of place.
Yes,
really,
it is.
honestly.
It's like when these movies to me are just like any other anime movie. They have no placement in the story whatsoever. You know, Detective Conan didn't meet Lupin the Third. Naruto saved 8 princesses, but nobody talks about it. No, I don't believe that for a fact. Yeah.
The crappy thing about like movies like this one too is the one thing that they can't do what they can with episodes is stretch it out and explain a lot more.
Yeah.
So they'll fit like 3 to 4 hours worth of content in an hour and a half to like an hour or something like that. I don't know how long this movie is, but it's probably going to be about 90 minutes or so.
Yeah, probably.
It like with the Beerus movie, it's just like, oh, plot, shit, happening. Oh, okay, world exploding, shit. Okay, oh, nope, never mind, bye.
Yeah,
so
like, in the Beerus movie, he's not a villain. So they introduce him as this kind of quirky character. He's sort of another Kai, as you will. He is, and they introduce him in that way, and they kind of give you the feel that he's a villain, but it's not really there. And
yeah, he is a bit intimidating. That's for sure.
He's another big part of the universe that Goku doesn't understand yet, and introducing him in a funny way is the only way that kind of makes him more of a default character.
Yeah, I feel like this movie is going to be a lot more serious though.
Yeah, because Frieza,
everyone's going to be fighting, not just Goku.
Yeah.
So
now, what role do you think Beerus and Whis will have in this movie?
Fucking nothing.
They're probably like Overwatchers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. I think they're not gonna do shit. I think that Frieza is gonna show up at Beerus's, and Beerus is gonna be like, "Oh, do you mean that?" And then Frieza's gonna be like, asking Beerus for help, and Beerus is gonna be like, "No, if you want to go defeat him yourself." Or something to that level. Something probably comedic. I still see... I don't know why, but I don't see Beerus as more of a serious character or very threatening.
No,
I see him more comedic,
really.
and I feel like that's where it probably is.
Well, he could be threatening if he got pissed off.
True.
Because he kind of did try to destroy the Earth. Technically, he did.
The Earth is replaceable. We got 7 moons.
And 7 Dragon Balls.
Oh, God. That scene where Shenlong is just shitting himself. I was so fucking, weirded out by all of the movie. I was like, these are things that I would never expect in the Dragon Ball series.
Yes.
But, they're still welcomed, and I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to see what Frieza's ultimate game plan is going to be this time. And I can't wait to see where the series goes on. I wonder if we're going to see more of a baby bump. I think that's what these movies are going to be. This is
just see her fighting with a baby bump.
Yeah.
and it's weird because I remember in Battle of the Gods, Trunks had a little sister by the next World Martial Arts Tournament.
Yeah.
Where was she? Like, she is older than Pan,
Uh,
and that's weird.
I don't know.
Well, this comes to the whole thing where some things might not be canon, right?
Yeah, no, like, that's what I mean. I don't
Exactly.
believe any of this shit is canon. I don't care what Toriyama says. You hear that, Toriyama? I'm calling you out.
Okay, I have to do some
There was
calling
a-
out
there was
myself
a-
because
Go ahead.
because I look up to this man. Because if it weren't for this series, I would not be where I am now.
Yeah.
Because it influenced so many things that I do. The fact that Toriyama seems to forget about DBZ and still doing it, it just makes it weird. Like, he forgets about so many things in the series, and oh look, he's coming back with something new, but he forgets some of the old stuff. Like, even for a while, he forgot that he even created a Super Saiyan 2 and 3. And I was like, what? And he forgot about this Dragon Ball character named Lunch, whatever her name is. She was the girl who sneezed and changed into this demon
Yeah,
girl
I remember.
who shot
Oh
everyone.
yeah, her.
She was in the first series. She was in Dragon Ball. And
Yeah, she
she
was
just
in Dragon
disappeared
Ball,
and never
yeah.
returned.
She sneezed too hard. God bless her soul.
Sneezed into the fucking other dimension. She sneezed into the dead zone. It was crazy. But yeah, it's like I feel bad because a lot of shonen writers go through that where they have to decide whether or not they're going to continue or they're going to end it. And Toriyama obviously, like, I think you've heard this before, but he wanted to finish it at Frieza.
Oh yeah.
And they just made him go. They were like, no, you're not done. Don't think you're done, because you're not. The series goes on. I don't know what you've been hearing. Have you been talking to that new kid over there drawing those ninjas? Don't talk to him. By the way, I think that is so weird that he really likes Naruto, and at one point he was actually caught, they said, what do you think of Dragon Ball now? And he was like, well, to be completely honest, I'm kind of sad that it's not like Naruto. And I was like, huh.
Oh man. Wow.
I think a lot of people will find that a little difficult. Like, wow, that's what a big fucking statement to make.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z had this amazing fighting and all this awesome action transformations and uberly powerful people. Naruto had this really charming kind of culture to it, and it's very it's more story driven.
Yeah, I think the Naruto in my mind has even better music.
Yeah, it did have better music. And yeah,
but I still
totally
find Dragon Ball Z and Naruto to be completely separate, even though they are shonen shows.
Definitely.
I find them completely different from each other in various ways.
Definitely.
But okay, let's move on because we need to go
We
into
have a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah, we gotta hurry ourselves into video game news. So we're gonna talk about all of the things that have been announced, like for instance, the fact that Intel create that there will be a sequel for Gunvolt, for Azura Striker Gunvolt and Galgun. Intel is making sequels for these games, and if you don't know what they are, Galgun. I keep reversing them.
Gilligan, Galgun.
Easy mistake.
Yeah, Galgun was a first, not a shooter, but a railgun shooter on the PS3. And basically, it was basically girls. It was like, shoot the girls, shoot the panties. There you go. And that was basically it.
Fan service the game.
Yeah,
there
fan
you go.
service the game. And
exactly.
it's not a bad game, but yeah, it's basically just that. Like, it was a decent rail shooter, and I have played a bit of it, and I remember thinking to myself, well, this is just it. This is the entire game, so I think I understand the game now.
It has an adorable art style.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
It really does. And Gunvolt is pretty much Mega Man's creator joined Intel Korea. He's working on Mighty Number 9 at the moment. At the same time, he was working on Gunvolt. And Gunvolt is, well, while Mighty Number 9 is sort of his homage to Mega Man, Gunvolt is his homage to Mega Man X. So Gunvolt kind of follows that same formula, and it has a very anime aesthetic. And I played a lot of it, and I really enjoyed it. I really like a lot of the various systems. I like the interesting characters and the fun dialogue. It's very out there, and it's something that you wouldn't really expect a lot of a really unique story. Like Mega Man X, like when people think back to it, they remember all the gameplay, but a lot of people also remember the story. And I feel like that's something that Gunvolt does right, where it gives you a very interesting and all around big anime story. And I can't wait to see a sequel for that game. It's on the Nintendo 3DS if you want to play the original. It's really cool. I highly suggest it.
I'm into cute things destroying stuff, so yes.
So you're gonna
I will
Galgun? That's what you're gonna get?
Don't even know.
You know, it's funny because we're gonna come back next week and he's just gonna be, where were you, Curry?
Playing Galgun.
I was playing Galgun. I'm gonna go back to it now. I'll see you guys.
Curry is just trying to fill the PS3 void inside him, and well, luckily for you, Curry, Galgun 2 is gonna be on the PS4, so you can enjoy that.
All the updated graphics, all the polygons,
all of them polygons, Curry.
all them polygons being upgraded.
Yeah. Speaking of games coming to the PS4, Shovel Knight, my friends.
Shovel
Knight.
Knight of Shovel.
Shovel Knight is going to be coming to the PS Vita and the PS4. And alongside that, there is free DLC that will be coming soon for everybody who got it on the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. Oh, and it will also be released for the Xbox One. Yeah, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to be happening with those. For the PlayStation version, I believe.
Is that Kratos?
Yeah. In the PlayStation version, you will be fighting against Kratos, and in the Xbox version, you'll be fighting against Battletoads.
It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really, really well done. It's a really good game. I cannot praise it enough. Shovel Knight is basically that old NES game that you consistently play until your hands bleed. It's so much fun. It's a great platformer with fantastic... It's a great NES game with modern twist. Like, it's so well put together. Its level design, its music, its character design is beautiful. There's an achievement list that's just well put together. It's really, really well done. It's basically Dark Souls for the NES, and it's a difficult game, but that's what makes it fun. And the free DLC is going to have Plague Knight, which is really awesome. Plague Knight was one of the coolest bosses I got to fight in the game, and you get to play as the bosses. Fairly soon, more of them will come out, I believe, and one that I can't wait for to come out, or hopefully will come out, is Spectre Knight, which is kind of like this Grim Reaper looking guy, and I'd like to see him. I like to be able to play as him, but yeah, Shovel Knight is coming to all the other consoles, not just the 3DS and the Wii U. But if you'd like to play it now, I suggest getting the 3DS version and the Wii U version, because they're both fantastic.
All right.
And Shovel Knight is awesome. Definitely check it out. I suggest anyone play it. I think it's also on Steam too. But
wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, speaking of games that are on the Wii U and the 3DS, what about Ollie Ollie?
Ollie.
Ollie
That
Ollie.
skateboarder game.
Yep. It's a fun skateboard game that's coming out on the Wii U and the 3DS called Ollie Ollie, and it will have cross-buy. So if you purchase it on your 3DS, you will get a free code to put it on your Wii U.
Yeah.
And if you buy it on the Wii U, you get a free code to put it on your 3DS. So if you only have a Wii U, you can give it to your friend. And if you only have a 3DS, you can give the code to your friend as well. It's pretty cool. I think that's a really cool idea to do something like this. I hope more games do this.
Right.
Because it's really interesting. Because Ollie Ollie isn't a huge game. It's a pretty simplistic game.
It's a side-scrolling.
It's a skateboarding game.
So.
And it's not too over the top. And I feel like for what it's worth and what it is, I think it's a good idea to have this cross-buy idea. And I hope more indie games do something like this, or at least more indie games with this kind of like connection.
I really don't like the thing that the PlayStation did well, for me at least, is if you bought like for instance, you know those like mini games or whatever you get on the PS Store or whatever.
Yeah.
They were cross-playable between your PSP and your PS3, so you only need to buy it on one device. And this was back in 2009.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like about Nintendo is that a lot of these NES games you'd have to purchase on your Wii U, and you'd have to buy it again on your 3DS.
Yeah.
That's
what sucks about the fact that you can't do that. You can't cross-play with the virtual console. Because it would be amazing if I was able to play, if I could start Legend of Zelda on my 3DS, and then when I got home, I can
just play it on your
I can
Wii U.
continue on my Wii U. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But hopefully that changes. Probably not, but I hope that with the indie games it continues to be a thing.
Yeah.
Here's hoping that in the future they do something like that.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, indie games are a big. Nintendo has been consistently doing well with indie games. Indie games have pretty much been one of the bigger marks that Nintendo has been using, and it's been doing it very well. I mean, there's countless indie developers have actually been in interviews talking about how well working with Nintendo has been. I remember they were speaking that the transfer from a Steam game a game that was already released on Steam, an indie game that was released, and it's transferred to the 3DS and the Wii U, pretty much took 2 weeks, and it was painless. It wasn't as aggravating or as annoying as it was when it was the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Well, I mean, Nintendo's pretty good with those kinds of things, and with Xbox and like PlayStation, they're a little bit more tedious, and they have a little bit more legal troubles as well.
Definitely.
And with the crossover, it's just like, oh, well, we want this to happen and this to happen and this, or else it's not going on our store. And it's like, well, I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of an indie game.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those. It's definitely a challenge, and if you, I recommend this. There's a movie called Indie Game the Movie, and in that movie, there are various indie developers who are creating games, that are releasing.
Phil
them.
Fish and
the
creators of Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
people don't like Phil Fish. They give him a lot of shit for being an asshole, but.
He makes a good game. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
but
the creators of Meat Boy, how they're like struggling to survive, living in like a one-way house, and now they're millionaires now.
The whole film is really well done. It has great music. It has great music and it has a great effect. And honestly,
I think it's on Netflix.
It is. It's on Netflix, along with Video Game the Movie, which is another one I recommend. But Indie Game the Movie, it really follows these guys and the various troubles they have to go through with creating the game and with trying to publish it.
Yeah,
so
with all
if
the
you
legal
want to,
troubles.
yeah.
And
So if you want to know
if it's not good enough, it won't go in the store. Like,
yeah, and like the first day it's supposed to be released, it's not on the homepage.
yeah.
You know, the banner they worked weeks to create, it's not there. They're just, you know, when you work really
Worried.
hard, and it shows that kind of like annoyance. So watch it; it's really good. But yeah, you know, indie games get a lot of flag, and that's why I think that this next segment kind of sucks. The fact that the Gone Home is canceled for consoles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gone Home, it had one of those like good stories attached to it. I don't know if it really had.
You can't consider it a game.
Gameplay. It's not a game. It's more of an art.
It's an experience.
Game. And like I bought it on Steam.
Yeah,
that's where I played it.
I played it too.
And I played it once, and like first couple minutes were like, okay, what's going on here? And then once I got to the ending, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like
this
is a lot deeper than it goes into.
Yeah,
like,
it's one of those games that really pushes. It blurs that line of like story of you're reading a book or listening to an audiobook and playing a game, and it's pretty much you that kind of pushes the story along. So it's like a game, but it's also not, and it's really interesting how they're able to blur that line. But the fantastic developer, the publisher that was going to release Gone Home for the Wii U and I think for the PS4 and the Xbox One, went out of business, and with that, all of Gone Home went. So, unless
it's still on Steam, right? So,
yeah. If you want to play the
still
game,
purchase it there.
It's still online. It's still on Steam. It's a great experience. It's exactly like the Stanley Parable.
Yeah. Stanley Parable was like you do one thing and it cause and effect, right?
Yeah, this is a whole story.
You walk through a house, you solve like minuscule puzzles and like explore. That's what you have to do is explore,
like
and then you
your own mind
walk through this house. I thought it was a horror game the first time.
Yeah, me too. The trailer really pushed that idea.
And then like you walk in, I was expecting half like
jump scares and
Slender Man to come out or
yeah.
But no, it actually was just a story game, and it told like a really good storybook-esque kind of
like great
feeling to it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone.
This is Gone Home is too much of a great experience to really spoil. So yeah, all we can do right now is just, since we're not getting it on consoles, I suggest buying it on the Steam because it's really well done. Curry, you should fucking play it, jerk.
All right. I will.
You ass.
Gosh.
Other games that were announced. There's a new River City Ransom game coming out. Totally fucked up that title. River City Ransom.
River City Ransom.
Or Downtown Nikitsu Jedake. I don't know Japanese.
Downtown.
How does
I'm sorry, I just had to.
But yeah, this is a continuation of the NES Classic. Well, not really a continuation because this game series has actually been going on a long time on the DS in Japan. But people are looking at this this new game on the 3DS, and people are starting to. There's a rumor going around that it might come to the States. And it's your basic NES style beat 'em up, and apparently the story is sort of your main characters who in the American NES game were called Alex and Ryan are in the school play, and they're playing old-timey gangsters in the Shoto era, and it's on a stage play, and basically the whole game sort of takes place in it. So sort of like Super Mario Bros. 3, but you're beating the shit out
It
of
looks
people.
very, like, the backgrounds look very well done, and then you look at the characters, and you're like...
Yeah, they're old NES
One who
characters.
sings is not like the other.
Yeah.
Somebody fucked up with this character sprites.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure these are two of the same. But yeah, that's... I would like to play this game, because apparently there might be online, and online 4-player, and online just in general.
That'd be cool. Like, a lot of games are moving towards that online, like, you could play with your friends from across the world, and it's really nice, because... You know, local play, only one person has the other game and they don't want to play. You're like,
it's one of the most difficult things. Like, where I am, there's not a lot of 3DS players. Or at least everybody who has a 3DS, unfortunately, does not know the love of Monster Hunter. And so I didn't get really to... so I really didn't get to play a lot of the fun local Monster Hunter play that I so desperately wanted. But now that Monster Hunter 4 has online, I can enjoy that too. And I hope that games like these come out where we're capable of doing something like that. And this game looks really fun, and I'd love to beat the crap out of everybody in a play with Curry and TinyBatMan.
Yeah.
Of course.
And yeah, but this game looks awesome. I hope it comes to the States.
It seems to be only out in Japan.
Yeah, so come on, Nintendo. We're giving you our
Waiting
energy right now. Just give us this fucking game.
He needs it.
Speaking of Japan, there seems to be an Amiibo shortage, guys.
No.
Oh no.
Well, I think I heard about this because all the Amiibos are apparently handmade.
Yeah.
And they just can't pump them out fast enough because there's so many.
Yeah.
They're all flying off the shelves.
This is also sort of on Nintendo's part, because Nintendo doesn't understand how big of a company they are anymore.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, because I think Nintendo, a couple years ago, like I think 2 to 3 years ago, everybody was counting down to the day Nintendo would die. Do you remember that? How people would continuously bag on Nintendo for not having a decent console, and how they were just, their Wii U sales were just dying, and nobody wanted to touch it, their 3DSs. And then all of a sudden, this huge splur of just good after great after great after great game, and Nintendo is now on the top of the world. And even the ideas that we used to make fun of, like when they announced the Amiibos, we were like, who the fuck is going to want to buy that?
Yeah.
And now everybody wants to buy it.
The concept of the Amiibos are not even like using the Amiibos for the Wii U. It's more like, holy shit, I have collectible trophies of my favorite Nintendo characters
and they're
now.
official Nintendo.
Exactly,
like,
and they look good.
Yeah, they do.
Like
that Bowser calls my name every night. But yeah, no, the basic is just like they're not. They still think that they're not worth anything. Like I think they still believe that they're not going to hit that big demand, and that's been a continuous problem with them. The Majora's Mask 3DS and the Monster Hunter 3DS, the new ones, when they were released, there wasn't enough of them. People wanted to buy more of them, but they just couldn't.
Exactly. I know I still can't buy any right now because in Canada there's a lot of waiting and stuff. So all the stores, or EB Games or GameStop, are now fighting for these games just so they can get them off the shelves. I mean, unfortunately, Nintendo was nice enough to put them on the Wii U or the Wii Store or the
eShop.
Nintendo eShop, and I got them there, which is fine because they're about the same price.
Yeah.
But it's still like
they're physical copy. And it's a huge it's a huge problem because Nintendo doesn't understand that. Even when it happens, Nintendo continues to be like, well, we'll just make a direct and we'll talk about how we're going to be sending more Marth Amiibos. And it's like, that's great, but we're running out of everybody else. Can you please just give us everybody like in huge waves? And I understand Nintendo needs to be a little more. I understand the Nintendo's need to be more like we got to make sure everything sells. We can't, send too much. We can't send too little. Well, you're sending too little, so maybe send too much at the moment. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I went to a game store the other day, and I was talking to the guy that runs the store, and he happened to know a lot about the subject. And they're, for like selling corporate stuff, a company like Walmart will be like, hey, we want 500 copies of like Monster Hunter 4 or the new 3DS or something. But Nintendo will be like, okay, we're going to give you 200 consoles, and then after you sell those 200 consoles, then you can get another 200 after that. So it's like we're still not meeting our quota of 500 consoles, and with the new 3DS, it's sold out immediately.
Yeah, it was overnight.
Pre-ordered. It was totally. So like people like me who are just like, oh, I want the new 3DS, but I can't get it because there's no one in Canada that sells it unless you buy it on Amazon. So it's very stupid in the fact that Nintendo like assumes that their stuff isn't gonna sell well when it really does.
Yeah,
because they're putting themselves down and it sucks.
Yeah, like
all these people want these consoles and they're not there. So
yeah, it's a complete. It sucks, and hopefully we'll move on from the subject, but hopefully it resolves itself. Hopefully Nintendo can understand. We want more games, and we want them all now. And give us Amiibos, and please, and
give more to the stores, please, so we can buy them.
Yeah.
And yeah. But speaking of new Wii U games and stuff, how about that Xenoblade Chronicles, guys? I don't know why, but I thought Curry was just gonna be like, "Oh shit, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be the bomb diggity." And I'm like, Curry, no one speaks like that anymore. It's the 21st century.
It's gonna be the bomb diggity, man.
But yeah,
dang it.
Nintendo had a awesome stream promoting and kind of showing off the Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U's battle presentation, and basically showing off a lot of the gameplay and how the game is going to be played out. And there's a lot of new stuff that's coming in. It basically resembles a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii U, but I mean not the Wii U. I mean the Wii with Shulk. But there's a lot of new and interesting things that are being added in. I like Xenoblade, and I can't wait to play Xenoblade Chronicles X. It looks like a really fun and interesting Wii U title.
Really good.
Yeah, it looks really open world, which is really nice.
Yeah, I love the world altogether. I like the fact that you can see giant fucking creatures everywhere in that world. That looks crazy.
A lot of these style games tend to look very claustrophobic, but this one looks very open, and I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem limited to just one area, too. It seems like there's multiple areas. I know this game isn't done yet, so there's probably going to be a lot more expansive areas to be like an ice field, or like a lot like how Monster Hunter does it. Where it just...
But not like an area loading thing.
Not an area loading. It's like an
connected.
actual expansive area.
Yeah. So that hopefully we get our hands on it. There's also a Xenoblade Chronicles Wii U bundle that will be coming out. Nothing really too big about the bundle, honestly. Basically, you just get the game, and I think you get a Wii remote. Nothing really too much, honestly. It's basically the same console. There's no real design to it. It's just the simple Wii U black console.
Yeah.
But you know what console bundle really looks amazing, and it's kind of hurting that I can't have it now. It's the MGS5 Collection Edition bundle. Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah, I like.
Man.
There's so much in this bundle, and there's so much in this collector's edition. I think it's kind of crazy that I can have a prosthetic arm if I order this. But the console looks fantastic. I love the red, and the controller looks amazing and so well put together. Yeah, and all the various things that come with all the various things that come with the bundle look great.
Yeah, and it only costs like $100 apparently, which for $30 extra, you can get all this extra stuff with it.
Yeah,
like the DLC, like the arm and stuff. Like I would pay that because it looks really well done.
yeah, it does. It looks really, really well put together, and this is something that we need to bring up. Obviously, this is something that's been said, but apparently, Mr. Hideki Kamiya himself has said that this is the last Metal Gear Solid game.
I heard about that. Yeah,
but
I mean,
I can't honestly take his word for it because he said that before.
Well, he's the dude that's keeping the company afloat, basically. So
I understand that, but like he said that with 4, and I think he said that with 3, and I understand. Like I understand if maybe he feels that way at the moment, but at the same, honestly, this time around, I actually do think that because this does kind of finish off. Because 4 did finish off the series, or at least the future. Like, it is the end-all end of the Metal Gear Solid. The only continuation is Revengeance. And Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, is sort of the gap between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And I like that. If this is the final gap, and if 4 really is where it all ends, then maybe this is the end. And you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. I haven't played the game yet, but if he really has that thought process in mind, then sure as hell he's probably putting a lot of work into this.
Yeah, a lot of effort. Yeah. Well, I know it was announced a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was.
And like the footage was there, and like it blew our minds because there's so much stuff that you could do. Because I believe it's open world too. Right?
Yeah. You can even if I remember correctly, you have like a base, like you have your own. It's sort of like in Far Cry kind of situation, where like you have your own personal base, and you can also customize your base and work on it. But
makes sense.
Yeah, this Phantom Pain looks amazing, and this amazing bundle looks great.
Yeah, I want it in and around my wallet, please.
I just want to make out with it so much. Yeah, Metal Gear is. Metal Gear looks amazing. But yeah, Metal Gear looks awesome. But you know what else looks pretty awesome? That Corpse Party that's coming to the 3DS.
Yes.
Oh
my god, I'm kind of really excited for this. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. Wow. Corpse Party is this amazing survival horror sort of visual novel.
Yeah, it's a survival horror RPG-esque 8-bit style game.
Yeah. Think Ano Oni or Yumeniki. Those kind of games. It's Japanese. It's like an indie Japanese horror game that you'll see PewDiePie play. But I
played it before PewDiePie. I feel entitled.
So did I. But yeah, Corpse Party is amazing, and there were like 3 games that were released on the PSP, and I think a few games that were released on the PS Vita. And people have been yelling for a 3DS version of this game, and the fact that now that we'll be getting it, and it's going to be taking the first game that was released on the PSP and just porting that to the 3DS but it
Makes
will
sense.
also have a interesting new scenario. It will have a new story to go along with it. So I think that's kind of the icing on the cake. I really like that.
Well, I really hope, like, because I played the PSP version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that new scenario does open up a lot more to the story, because, you know, it's a very creepy game, and when I was playing it at night, I kind of, like, got to the one part with the little boy with no tongue, and I kind of,
Oh,
nope,
yeah.
put it down, nope, bye, goodbye, nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah, this game is pretty intense, and I'm hoping more games like this actually show up on the Nintendo 3DS, because I like these kinds of games, and I'm so sad that so many fantastic games like these are Nintendo kind of passes by. I also hope this.
Well, it is an adult-themed game, and Nintendo's more... Like, it delves into that mature content, but it's more family-friendly oriented.
True.
Like, you wouldn't want your 10-year-old cousin or someone to be like, oh, corpse party. Like, they don't understand, and they buy it with their mom's credit card or something. And,
This would be really weird.
they play it, and they're just scarred for life. And you see them when they're 35, they're just like, you don't understand. So,
It's like, but Timmy, you searched for it on the eShop. You typed it in and everything. You
don't understand me.
You even auto-fixed it. I went on your Google search and all I found was dismembered parts and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I hope. But yes, this game looks really... Well, actually, there's no footage of the game, but I hope that we get footage of the game soon. And I hope Nintendo brings this to the States. You know, this is...
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to use the dual screen. Like, it's a one-screen game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that they'll probably... Because I've seen, like, fan-made versions.
Well, there's items in that game, right?
Yeah, so
right?
what I'm thinking is that they'll have, like, character profiles on the top and then items along the side.
Gotcha. Or a map or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
too.
actually, that would work better, a map. It would make the game easier.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be honest, like, Nintendo's consistently done that with a lot of ports. Like, one of their biggest gimmicks is sort of like when they port a game, they kind of make it a bit easier.
Yeah.
Like, they did that with Majora. They did that with Snake Eater. And they did that...
Well, Majora wasn't necessarily easier. It was just a lot faster.
True. Yeah, okay.
Like, sorry to get off topic here, but the Anju and Keffi quest now takes 20 minutes if you know what you're doing. While in the old game, it took like an hour or two because you had to wait that long. And if you screwed up, well, GG. But, I mean, whatever. We'll get to that topic another time.
Yeah. And when we do our pure Zelda podcast,
Yeah.
we talk about the timeline and everything.
Spoilers. Just kidding.
Spoilers. Wind Waker. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good game. Yeah, I'll tell
You're on a boat. It's pretty cool.
Gosh.
Next up, we will talk about the... well, we'll go straight into it, goddammit. We're talking about scary games. We might as well fucking talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 3 that just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because Scott Cawthorn is kind of a bro.
Yep.
And totally not grabbing anyone's money. But we'll talk about it another time.
But yeah, this was sort of a surprise, to be honest, because I got the news late at night. Like this released, like I think at midnight, and I remember I went to Silicon, which is where the link is from, where a lot of these links are from, because I go to them for news. But it just showed up all of a sudden. It just said Five Nights at Freddy's is out right now. And I just remember people on Twitter freaking out. I remember people on Steam freaking out. And consistent, like, Let's Players that I know were going like, crap, now I gotta do a Five Nights at Freddy's video.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of, like, Let's Players, I think they were sent a demo from Scott Cawthorn. And then, like, the demo came out like early in the day, and then late at night he's just like, let's just release the game, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, it was quite a surprise, and to be honest, I'm kind of happy about it. I think that it's much more terrifying to just release it. To be completely honest, I was a little taken back by it. I was like, did anyone know this was coming out tonight? No? All right. Hope the...
Plus, like, a lot of people are just like, yeah, well, it's just a scary game with jump scares. And then you actually, like, play all 3 in succession and do all the extras along with it. And it actually has, like, a really deep lore.
Yeah.
That is really creepy, and
it really works together. And actually, I think that Five Nights at Freddy's 3, this one at least, is very heavy on the lore and on the story.
Yeah, with all the mini games you can play by like clicking Balloon Boy's nose on the first night.
Yeah, and I think that this is so very. This game is actually strange. I played through all the other two, and they were difficult. They weren't Night Trap difficult, but they were pretty fucking difficult. This one's
as long as you knew the patterns, it was really easy.
Yeah, but this one was a lot more simpler. Because I didn't know much about it going in, and I didn't know a lot of it, but it was trial and error at first, and I was like, okay, but a lot of it feels a lot more simpler. Like, you don't have as much to do.
Yeah, just check cameras and then hit restart on ventilation.
Restart on the areas.
And then play audio in another room so Springtrap can go into another room.
Yeah, and it's like, and any other scare besides him is sort of just an effect.
Yeah,
instead of
it's not
instant death like it was last time.
When I first played it, I thought I was like, oh, why didn't I die here?
Yeah. Well, that was part of the scare too. Like, I'm still alive. Oh no.
Yeah, like
right.
Like I think it was after I played the third night, I went online and I was like, I need to figure out something. And so I Googled it and I was like, how do I do this? Because I would expect people to, already beat it completely and 100% it. And it did seem like people actually did. But I remember people were already giving them names, and they're all called Phantom. Well, Phantom Freddy, Phantom Bonnie, stuff. And I was like, oh, well, that explains why, they're not instant death. They're just effects. And
right.
And,
there's hallucinations.
Springtop, right? Is his name Springtop?
Springtrap.
Springtrap. Yeah. Is like the only one that's actually
animatronic there. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I
again, this is one of the things where we won't explain the lore because, like, watch any Let's Play or play the games actually, because it's really deep once you get into it, and you figure out all these different like nooks and crannies where you're not supposed to know, but if you look deeper into it, it's like,
there's a lot of dark and interesting things that go into it. There's a lot of like, it's like the thing about it is also kind of open-ended because you don't know who is really that right. Like,
exactly, it's all theories, speculation.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so great about this game in particular, in this game series, and I think that's why a lot of people love it too, because it's so creative and it lets you, the player, kind of invent the story. And
for only $7.99, how can you go wrong?
I know, how can you?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is out now. Go play it, and like right now.
How do you like the animations in it?
I think it's okay.
It did a lot better than like the first and the first two, because those were like still animations.
Yeah.
And when you put on, I think the only actual animation that happened in the first two games was in the second game when you put on the Freddy head and then the head of Bonnie showed up, and then obviously the kill animations. And in the first, but those are just pictures popping up and shaking.
Yeah. And in the first game, it's just Foxy running.
Yeah,
that's the only other animation I know.
But in the third game, where you actually see Freddy walk by or Springtrap moving, it's weird.
Oh my god, that actually kind of terrified me. Whenever Freddy would show up in the back, at first I was shitting my pants. And then later on, when I was already at night 3, I was like, Freddy, why are you Scooby-Doo walking? Why are you going like...
Well, as long as
Like
you didn't stare at him, you were
Scoob.
fine, so...
Like... And then Spring,
Uh,
whatever his name, would just stick there to the window, and I'd be like, no.
yeah, just making that loud, like, screech noise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and then fucking Foxy would show up and like his head will kind of go up, like it would,
Oh my
and it would
God.
just, it would just be it would just be a loud pitch noise, and it'd just be like,
I just
"Oh,
can't
like,
stand
stop
it when he did that.
Yeah. But this game, definitely try Five Nights at Freddy's. I recommend it. It's a great scare. You know, it's a great game to play with friends too. I really mean that. It's a great way to hear your friends scream.
Especially if you've
Don't
played
wear
the game
white.
and they haven't.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best feeling actually. But yeah, this was kind of out of the blue, and actually, a lot of people are kind of freaking out because apparently, the creator released some sort of photo or something of a hat, and this is alluding to people to believe that Five Nights at Freddy 4 is in development. So
It's a
Interesting.
possibility, but I mean, like, the one thing that's opened up for the series now is, like, the store that started it all.
yeah,
Yes.
Like the diner or whatever it was called.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I think a lot of people are trying to analyze exactly when the games take place. This one is in the future. This
Yeah,
is like
definitely in the
definitely
future.
into the future. This is the most out of the way. So if anything, 4 we either continue to the future or we'll go backwards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And after we just said that it was pretty easy, I feel like the creators might be listening and will probably make it the toughest.
Scott's just
Yeah.
like, "Screw
Yeah,
you,
he
Stu.
just
I'm gonna
he
make
just
this the
sits
hardest
back in
bullshit
his
ever."
he sits back in
I'm
his
sure
money.
he's probably heard it too.
It's just like,
Smoking a cigar. Oh, yeah. I know how to do that.
time to get tough. But yeah, speaking of terrible things and horrifying creatures in the night trying to kill me, Valve is experimenting with VR.
Yes.
So yeah, everybody, you love Half-Life? Well, guess what? Headcrabs are coming for you. Valve is making it real, and I don't like that. I am terrified. But yeah, Valve is using the Half-Life system and a lot of its actual a lot of the characters and the design to work with VR's virtual reality. So they're not. So we're not saying at all, and it hasn't been said that they are working on a virtual reality version of Portal or Half-Life, but that they're using those systems to work on
To
things.
make
Yeah, so
the games.
um,
The Half-Life 3 confirmed?
yeah, and it's only gonna be in VR.
Yeah, oh no.
But yeah, this is actually this isn't that surprising. I think that they've said before that they might start working on it, but I think the surprising part is that they were just using the old system.
Yeah, well, on the topic of actual VR systems,
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of a cash grab now than anything. Like, what was nice about the Oculus Rift is it was literally the first good VR headset where you could walk around in games.
Yeah.
And it was just like the crappy resolution, but then they came out with a new one, which was actually good. And like, with everyone trying to get in on this like cash pool, like Sony is making one for PlayStation, and
Xbox.
now Valve is making the HTC one, and it's apparently really good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if I was the owner of Oculus Rift, I'd be like, well, what the fuck? Like, but he couldn't have expected him to be the only one in the market for long, right?
Yeah, no, I don't expect. I expected him. He probably thought it through, and he was like, "This is probably not going to be the only one, so I need to sell this quickly to the."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, he sold the dev kits, and he sold a lot of them
Yeah.
too. But like, well, one way to look at it too is like you created something and you open the door for gaming technology,
Definitely.
so that everyone can get behind it. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna start something, and everyone's like gonna build on that idea and like make new games for it, like Valve is doing with the Half-Life engine, and PlayStation is doing with their stuff, and it opens that door towards like new VR technology, which is becoming more prevalent and cost effective now.
Yeah, I games these companies are I think that it's pushing us to do something more, and that all the companies are even, this is a bigger race now, because before
They found a VR headset that doesn't suck like the virtual one.
yeah, well you didn't like seeing in red? I loved it.
I didn't like being blinded. What?
I like taping that thing to my face when I went out. It looks so normal.
Gosh.
But yeah,
It looks so real.
I think I like the idea of these individual companies coming up with their own sets, so that way we can compare. And it's it is like a new race, and it's for us to decide. Because before, hopefully it's not as shitty as before, because before the last race was motion controls, and we all know how terrible PlayStation and Microsoft are at those.
Yeah.
Like at least with VR, we know that they're working their hardest to do something interesting, and we have seen examples, and we're very excited for the future. And you know, if anybody to actually work on this, I'm happy it's Valve, because Valve has made consistently great games and have been using an incredible system and engine. So,
and they have like, you know, they're coming out with the Steam OS and the new Steam boxes and stuff like that. So it'll be good with those systems too.
yeah, and it's also going to be interesting to see that Source Engine 2 is actually going to be available to the public. And that now anybody can make a Steam game. Everybody make Half-Life.
Whoa.
Go, TinyBatMan, go make Half-Life now!
Why my people need me?
And while he's masturbating to crap heads, we'll talk more about Steam. So,
I'm back.
oh, hey. But yeah, the Steam box. Actually, I'm looking forward to that too. It's weird. As much as I am a PC gamer, and I'm happy Steam as kind of like is now like the flagship PC gaming, thing. I'm also kind of happy that there's a Steam box coming.
Yeah,
I think
which is nice, because people who don't want to build their own gaming PCs because they're either too big or cost too much money, can now just buy a singular thing
and enjoy that.
And it comes exactly.
And it's nice that Valve and not Valve, but Valve and Steam are working on that idea and using the fruits of their labors are now paying off with a console, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. When you become so big that you can produce a console, I think you've made it.
Yeah,
because like it was the same way that like Microsoft started on the PC and then worked their way into making the Xbox, and then the PlayStation was Sony. Sony was kind of working with Panasonic, and Panasonic and Nintendo were going to make a deal, but it never panned out, and so Panasonic and Sony made the deal, and now Sony's PlayStation. So I guess the next console is going to be the Steam box, and I can't wait for this 4-console world we're going to live in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need it, but for the regular consumer, like, it's better to buy
Steam box,
Steam box, because me and you are in the tech industry, so we understand how people don't understand tech nowadays.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll be like, "Oh, you need this GPU." Like, what's that?
Yeah, people will be confused consistently when you try to introduce them to any kind of new system, and when it comes to PC, they will always be confused. People will always be confused, and so it's nice that something that I'm sure that countless people know what Steam is, so I'm sure whenever they hear it, they're like, "Oh, I wish I could play Steam." Well, now you can, because there's a box.
Yeah, preloaded, man.
Yeah.
So
if you've ever wanted to play Portal and you've never heard of the other consoles and their ports of Portal, you can play Portal on the Steam box.
yeah.
But
With the new Steam controller that looks really weird.
oh yeah, that thing looks fucking weird. I hope that I know this is really weird and they probably won't do it, but I hope I can set up my Xbox 360 controller on that thing. I've been doing it on the Steam thing, like
I need this.
I need this. I need to get one of those USBs that are able to kind of configure different controllers to do different console systems. Have you seen those? Those look great.
Like the Bluetooth receiver or whatever,
Yeah.
the wireless receivers.
Yeah.
Those look cool.
Yeah. A little expensive though, I think.
Yeah, but they're worth it.
Worth, yeah.
If the Steam controller only looks weird, but in my hands feels like the greatest control in the world, then I won't buy it. But if it feels like crap, and I'm like, I'm gonna spend $300, then I'll feel it. But yeah, that's coming out, and that looks great. Other than that, there's another engine that's going to be coming. The Unreal Engine 4 kit has been released to the masses. So if you like the Tomb Raiders, or the Far Cries, or maybe you're a Nathan Drake man yourself, you can make it
I know
happen.
my game design friends are really happy about this because one of the engines they were like never really taught was CryEngine because there's no money in it because you can make games on CryEngine that are really good and look really good, but you can't make any money off of it because it's an open source, right?
Yeah.
But with the Unreal Engine, you make a good game out of it, and you can just buy a license and then make money off of it.
Exactly, and that's
which is
amazing.
Really nice for them because the indie games and stuff.
Yeah, it's been a consistent problem, and I think that's the reason that these engines are being released to the public is because countless indie gamers are now a big thing that everybody wants. Nintendo has cornered the market for indie games, and with so many games being funded now through Kickstarter and so many games that are actually, so many indie games that before, when you heard somebody making an indie game, you're like, well, we'll probably never hear them again ever. And now, when somebody says, I'm making an indie game, check me out on Kickstarter, you have this kind of idea that's like, oh shit, this might actually happen. So yeah. I'm sure that they feel the same way, and they're thinking, well, we want to give these indie developers the ability to actually make their games come to life. And so we will release our sources for free, and then when they release it, they'll talk to us, they'll give us a slice of the pie. I think that's a clever way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And this Unreal Engine 4, is it the same one as the new engine they're using for Kingdom Hearts 3? Because I believe they said they're using Unreal Engine 4 now.
Well, the thing with Unreal Engine 4 is I believe it's cross-compatible between Unreal Engine 3. So, with games, this is just an example, but for Killing Floor 2, with that game, that was being made on the Unreal Engine 3, and then they announced the Unreal Engine 4 and released it to the devs. So apparently for them, the transition between the two engines was seamless.
Yeah, so
let's see.
I'm sure Kingdom Hearts 3 will be working on Unreal Engine 4. I think Square Enix was probably on top of that shit from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of Square Enix, kind of the transition for the latest Final Fantasy game is sort of through that, because they have been working on the game since 2008. And so they originally started on Unreal Engine 3, and the transition happened, I think, to like a year ago, or at least they started working on it again, because it's been on super hard hiatus and the change kind of exploded, and people at Square Enix were just like, holy shit, it's a game again, guys. We're making games. Everybody settle down. What are you doing back there? Is that a Disney character? Send him away.
Gosh.
Oh, is that douchebag that made Final Fantasy 13 still here? Oh, thank God. No more lightning. I'm tired of that shit. Tired of it. I don't like lightning. I don't know if anybody knows that. I don't like lightning. But yeah, like, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what comes out of this. I can't wait to see what comes out of all of this, because the idea of a new Steam box also kind of opens the doors for indie developers, and the same thing with the Unreal Engine. Like, you can put stuff on your Steam box, and I'm sure that Steam box would be happy to take that, because that's what Steam is ultimately. And that's kind of cool, because if they just release it on Steam and it also shows up on the console version, like, that would be, because before, you know, indie developers would start by putting it on Steam, and then would have to work with Nintendo and work with Xbox 360 and work with Sony to try and put it on their consoles, and it's a hassle. But with Steam, you can just put it online, and then it would show up on the console already.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. Hey, maybe Gone Home isn't gonna be canceled.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Like, Gone Home is gonna be on Steam. The Steam box, guys.
Yeah.
Steam box Gone Home. Pick it up tomorrow.
Mood.
Well, I would pick it up on sale. Like,
Oh, that's true. The Steam sales.
It's a good game, but I looked up the price like just a little while back, and it's it's $21.
Oh, wow.
Or $19.99 in the States, because Canadian transfer.
Yeah.
But it's kind of expensive. But I think I picked it up on sale for like $4.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I remember picking it up for just about like $7.
Yeah, I got it like dirt cheap. So just wait until a sale. I'm not saying like anything to the developers like your game's crap, don't pay this money. But like it's a story game.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $21 for a story game as much as I don't want to pay $40 for a demo.
It's a game that you probably will only play twice.
Exactly.
Like, I played it once, enjoyed the story, and played it again. Not even for myself. I played it again to show my girlfriend. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was I can't wait to see how all of this plays out. And all of this is beautiful news, and this has been nothing but good news. I think that we've been getting nothing but announcements, interesting things,
new
it's
stuff,
really good news. Enjoying all of the new consoles that are going to be coming out. Looking forward to all of the indie developers coming up with interesting stuff. All the fantastic sequels.
Don't jinx it. Watch next week. Everything's just gonna go to shit.
Next week,
Nintendo burns down. PlayStation is broken.
Sega buys Mario. Oh.
Xenoverse is now canon.
No.
Don't ever say
Time cops. No. Oh, fucking. Oh my god.
So, just count our blessings right
I
now.
hope you understand. You just killed Curry inside, right? Curry is in tears.
Oh no.
Oh god.
But off the topic of that.
Oh man, watch me have a nightmare about this tonight. I'm just
the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just fucking canceled. Marvel is now working on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh no.
Oh. Spider-Man is gonna have a cameo, and it's be great. He'd be like, "Hey, Freddy."
Joke's on you, Spider-Man Shadow Bonnie.
Oh, Corpse Party completely canceled on the 3DS.
I think I'm not broken.
Everything we knew was a lie.
I'm broken.
No. Ollie cancels Cross-Buy. Nintendo sends the message, "Buy both our games, fuckers."
You cheap bastards.
Steambox shoved down man's throat.
And all of this just went downhill from there.
Oh, Jesus. All right. And okay.
God.
Well, that's about everything. So we're going to end on 2 notes. 1, happy birthday, WayForward, you fantastic and beautiful people. WayForward is the amazing group of people that have made the Mighty Switch Force series. They also worked on Shanti, which is amazing. You know, and they've also done other individual games. They did a lot of the Adventure Time games on the 3DS and on the Wii U and stuff. They did the Batman Brave and the Bold side-scrolling beat 'em up. I just burped. That was for you, WayForward. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh my god. They also made the amazing Godzilla game on the GBA, Godzilla Domination. I highly suggest that game. I also highly suggest the Mighty Switch Force series. I am being completely honest. That was my introduction to indie games on the 3DS, and I was not disappointed. It's a fun platforming shooter. I mean, not shooter, puzzle game. That really is well done and has a great mechanic and is really fleshed out. But yeah, 25 years of making fantastically interesting games from the Game Boy Color all the way to, you know, the Nintendo 3DS, and the Wii U. You know, you guys have been doing amazing.
Working hard.
Can I have the honors?
Yes, you can, Curry.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm sure that's not exactly what you expected, WayForward, but that's what we could afford. Curry works for
next
peanuts.
time when we're all big on YouTube, we'll hire a big band, and then we'll probably get striked for copyright because apparently Happy Birthday is copyright.
Oh.
I know, right? What the heck is this mess?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Curry's
Oh my
music.
gosh, I still
Curry
can't-
just released 2 royalty-free music. It's like, Curry, you should just do your own variation of Happy Birthday and just release it royalty-free. And then people will just thank you. They'll use that. We'll use Curry's version of Happy Birthday
Yes.
now.
Yeah,
Use my version of Happy Birthday because screw Happy Birthday.
with a lot of dubstep and
There's a lot of jingles.
wop wop.
There's more cowbell involved.
Yes.
A lot more cowbell.
Okay, and besides that, you know who else grew up a little bit? PlayStation 2. That's right. It's the anniversary, and I actually don't know how old PlayStation 2 is. I think they're actually 25 years too.
Oh.
Ooh, wow.
Either 25 or 30. But either way, PlayStation 2. Hey there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
I have a PlayStation 4
And-
now, so, you know, I forgot about you.
Yeah.
But listen.
Oh, it turns 15.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So do I have 2 PlayStation 2s?
I guess
now?
that's how that works, right? That's the math behind it. Or at least that's what Sony tries to make me believe with their TVs. You know. No. The resolution is at 720. It just feels 480. That's why their TV division's fucking dead. But whatever. Enough about that.
gosh.
We're talking about PlayStation 2. So let's go down the line. Curry.
I feel strongly about that too, by the way.
Curry. What is your... I don't know if you played that many PlayStation 2 games, but what is your favorite PlayStation 2 game that you can remember?
Oh my gosh. PlayStation 2 for me was like the best era for me, honestly. And I don't know if I could really choose. I really enjoyed playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on PlayStation 2. It just opened my... It just blowed me away on how, like, so many things happening in that game that was possible for the PlayStation 2 to process. And let's see, Kingdom Hearts 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, oh my gosh, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I think those 3 are my most memorable and favorite games I played on PlayStation 2. Of course, there's more, but I just can't think of them on the top of my head right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Sony, thank you for blowing Curry. TinyBatMan, what about you? What were your favorite PlayStation 2 games?
Budokai 3, man. Play that shit every day.
That was it. Really utilizes
10 out of 10.
2's
Got to play as
power.
Broly. Whatever.
Oh my gosh! Yes, yes.
Didn't matter.
But yeah, also like ATV Off-Road Fury. Like I don't know. It was just one of those games I played, and it's just like I can ride around and crash and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Was it the same game where you went out to these mountains and it would blow you back or something?
Something like that. You just got like intense air for no reason.
Yeah, like you'd hit this force field that just bounces you so far. I love that. I would just do that on purpose.
Yeah, and there was no like time limit. There was no like goal. You just drive around and have
exactly.
fun.
I love that.
But
so I'll have to give it to that too.
The top 2 games, and then the rest, obviously the favorites like Crash Bandicoot and rocked that shit. So.
Man, I love the PS2 era. Oh gosh, I loved it.
But I mean, I was also really into GameCube at the time, so I was conflicted.
I was primarily a GameCube person, but I had my moments on the PS2. I think the various games I remember playing the most on the PS2 was the first Call of Duty game I played on the PS2. Snake Eater. Jesus Christ, that took a lot of my life away. And Silent Hill 2 is pretty much what made me myself. Like Silent Hill 2 pretty much was one of the games that Silent Hill 2 and 3 are one of my favorite games of all time. The Silent Hill series has been like, it's pretty much kind of made me the person I am and how I view games and how I view games with story, and it just blew me away. So Silent Hill 2, Snake Eater, MGS, it just blew me away. And Kingdom Hearts has continued to make an impact on people, so that was one of the other games that really got to me.
Definitely.
But yeah, the PS2 era was beautiful. I remember very well, and it's weird because that's actually the PS2 and the GameCube were the consoles we grew up with.
Yeah.
Like I remember the GameCube and the PS2 more than anything.
Well, I know I still played a mean hardcore NES. But
I played a lot of N64. But yeah.
I haven't really been on much Nintendo growing up, but when I did, I'd go to a friend's house, and I really did have a lot of fun on a lot of GameCube and 64 games.
Yeah.
Definitely.
TinyBatMan.
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet Curry really sucks at Mario Party?
I'm gonna bet myself I suck at Mario Party.
Well, at least he's humble about it.
Yeah, he's pretty humble. I'm fantastic at Mario Party. I'm not gonna be humble. I'm fucking amazing.
You're fucking amazing.
I rule at the Mario parties. I beat it like 1,000 times.
I wrote the strategy guide.
I wrote.
Oh man.
That's right. When you go on IGN and you look up strategy on the FAQs, it's me. It's 5 out of 5 stars. Blazy Blaze. Was it great? Spelled with a 4. Mario Party. That's my username.
Yes.
But yeah, the PlayStation 2 was really amazing. I remember it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're so happy that it's been a huge part of our lives apparently, and the fact that it's 15 years now, that's also incredible.
It makes me feel old when I'm not really that old.
Yeah, it makes me feel old too. I'm not that age. I wish I was 15 when the PlayStation turned 15, but whatever.
I still love the fact that they when it was backwards compatible, and I still even bought PS1.
Oh yeah, I
stuff, and
played the shit out of Tomb Raider.
Oh
dude,
yeah,
Barbie's Island Adventure was like the funnest thing in the fucking world to me.
It really was. That was my guilty pleasure.
Actually, yeah, me too.
Was a really fun game.
Barbie's Island Adventure was my guilty pleasure. Why is it such a
what
good
did
game?
this podcast turned into?
It's become a secrets revealed podcast. All right.
I would never like freaking tell anyone I play that game, or even like to.
I didn't want to tell you one. You still shouldn't tell anyone.
You really still shouldn't.
No one should know.
Hey.
I don't think
Keep it deep inside that Barbie sack of yours.
Curry's secretly hoping the podcast never gets big, so this doesn't get revealed.
Watch, like, a million people know this.
Swear to
now.
God,
Yeah.
one day I'm just gonna. If it takes to episode 15 for us to like even get 100 views, I'm seriously going to be like on Twitter consistently going, everybody go back to episode 2. There's some shit about Curry that you need to know.
Hey, we're on episode 300. Go back to episode 2.
Go back to
Right at
episode
the
2. We're now in season 16, episode 740. Go back to episode 2.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the second the Steam box too, but how about we go back to episode 2? I'll just put in the clip. I won't even tell people to go back. I will consistently have it at the end of every episode.
Floating cars, by the way, Barbie games.
Do you remember those, Curry?
Damn
We might tonight. We have a recording.
You might have forgotten, but we didn't.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our podcast. I'm SC2 Production.
I'm Son Curry.
Oh, I'm
God damn it.
TinyBatMan.
We are the 3 lovable idiots that just won't stop talking, and that's what our podcast is about. We love video games, you love video games, so listen to us bitch about video games.
Yeah.
Alright,
I love video games.
so yeah, see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Later.